Let's talk about one of the easiest and most powerful probiotic foods, sauerkraut. So here I have some homemade sauerkraut, which is packed with beneficial bacteria like Lactobacillus plantarum, Lactobacillus brevis. There's tons of probiotics in this. Obviously, I'm not a scientist, so I can't sit here and do the test. Most store-bought sauerkraut is pasteurized, so it's killing off a lot of those good microbes. And so making it at home ensures that you're gonna get those millions of probiotics. So this is the end result of a 15-day fermentation of homemade sauerkraut, which I am going to show you in this non-formal video. All right, so look at it here. I'm gonna take off that fermenting weight. This is the cabbage that protected it beneath the brine. We don't have any mold or spoilage. It looks very good. Look at that. That looks amazing. I'm gonna squeeze this out. All right, there's our sauerkraut beneath the brine. No mold, no spoilage. Just good old-fashioned homemade sauerkraut with billions of probiotics that are great for our gut. Hi, friend. All right, today has been a day. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys really quick, if you're working on your gut health and you're really trying to incorporate probiotics into your diet. Now, I have definitely been doing a lot of cultures with yogurt, like I said. I feel like I say this in every video. Right now, I am dosing L-gasseri, Bifidobacterium longum, Bifidobacterium infantis, L. reuteri. I'm just looking for more cultures to get into my gut. Today, I saw some beautiful cabbages at local market. This local farm stand. They had some gorgeous cabbages. So another cultured food that I want to put in our diet, because we haven't had it in at least 3 months, is some sauerkraut. It's so easy. It's so full of probiotics and it's really simple. So I thought I'd cut up some kraut with you guys. Let me show you these cabbages, and I want to show you how simple sauerkraut is and how you can incorporate this into your diet, have a little bit of cultured food with all of your meals so you can build up that gut bacteria. You can say goodbye to anxiety, depression as you get that gut really nice and healthy. So let me show you. All right, here's some cabbages. Aren't they beautiful? Maybe I will actually have some luck growing cabbages in my garden this year. Let me show you. All right, aren't these lovely? They're so pretty. So we're gonna get our food scale out. So here is our food scale. And what I like to do, to be precise, because a lot of people get really confused on how much salt to add to their sauerkraut, is we're gonna see how many grams it is. So this one is 934 grams. This one is 330 grams on this one. So 934, 330. And this one is 930. I'm trying to tap this to focus. I was tapping this to focus. And this one's 931. So let's do some quick math. 931 plus 934 plus 330. That is 2,195 grams of cabbage. So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply 2,195 times 0.02. You're going to put 2% of the salt into your kraut. So 2195 times 0.02 is 43 point something. So that would mean you would put 43 grams of salt. Now, when you're making kraut or any fermentation for that matter, you do not want to use those iodized salts like Morton. You can use Celtic, you can use kosher, you can use real Redmond's sea salt, you can use Himalayan, but you cannot use that any salts with any caking agents. You want to use a pure salt for your fermentation. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and chop up the cabbage, and when we add the salt to the cabbage, that is what is going to make the brine. So let me show you. I have this nice stock pot because I don't have a really big glass pot. So I'm going to chop this up, and when you peel, let me show you. So these are your cabbage leaves here, and we're going to save these. Make sure you rinse them really good because they can have a lot of grime on them, but you need to save the outer leaves because this is how we're going to protect the sauerkraut once it's in the mason jar. I'll show you. So I'm just going to pull these off. I already washed it off pretty thoroughly, but I am going to wash these leaves again. And I guess we'll just go ahead and chop one at a time. This one looks pretty good. I'll just take off this one more leaf. I cannot wait to try to get cabbage in my own garden. I have failed at it. I mean, the squirrels eat it. Just other things have choked it out. I have had all the bad things happen when I have tried to grow cabbage. I love this knife. So right now you can chop it however you like. I just go in with some thin slices here. Can you see? And thin here, thin. They're very nice and thin here. Something I did last time. So I'm just going like this. I like mine to be like kind of stringy, have that nice sauerkraut. So just going like this. And like I said, sauerkraut is so full of probiotics, and the longer you let it sit, the more sour it gets. So I usually let mine go for about 10 days. So as I cut this, I'm just going to start putting it in here into my stock pot. And then once we're done with this, we're going to massage it with the salt and we're going to let it sit. Let's just finish chopping it up. You see your juice, baby?
Mm-hmm. What are you making?
Sauerkraut.
It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, baby love. I miss you.
You think it's nice to see
you?
me?
These nice long pieces. They give you that nice crowdy look. That's what I like to do. Now, before we go ahead and put our salt, before we cut up this last cabbage, I'm gonna go ahead and add in the salt so that this will go down because this is pretty high and you'll see what I mean. All right, so don't be intimidated by food scales. I know they can be. You wanna zero it out. And then we're gonna put this on there. And then you wanna zero it out again. And now we're gonna go ahead and add in about 43 grams. That was 30. I'll just work with this for now until we add in the other one. So now I'm just going to literally massage. And as I massage it, it's going to start to produce a brine, a liquid. So you gotta be patient on this part. I'm gonna put the phone down, wash my hands again, because again, you do not want to cultivate any nasty bacterias. You know, phones and things are gross. This is a fermentation, so you want to make sure your hands are very clean. This was sterilized. And you're going to massage this. Why are you laughing? What?
You're gonna massage this.
Go away. All right. You massage, and as it creates liquid, I will have our cameraman do a little work. Can you turn that off, honey? Oh, I thought that was the fan.
Yeah, this is
as the microwave. Oh, okay. So I'm just massaging like this.
You don't want me eating, do you? Yeah, you finish. That's what.
Why are you saying that?
Body shaming. I'm just trying to.
Body shaming you.
Yeah. You're obese, so you don't need to eat. No.
Is that what I said? Is that what I said?
The camera heard you say that.
No, well, he be making stuff up. Do not believe a word of what he says.
Oh, you're scared that your 2 fans will know that you body shamed me. Ah. I don't want to get canceled by my 3 followers. Oh no, my career's gonna end before it starts.
Shut up, Gia.
Damn, is that where you're at? You don't want to get canceled? Too scared?
I'm
not
scared.
bold?
I'm not bold, baby love.
Come on, girl, be bold, be courageous. Don't sound like you got any.
Why are you you making stuff up? He's forever making up lies. You guys see, we're just massaging and it takes some work. All right, so here is our other cabbage. Make sure you save these leaves. Darling. And you know, whenever you're making sauerkraut too, you can always add in some horseradish or jalapenos. You could add in some carrots. Whatever you want to add to your sauerkraut with your cabbage, you can. I actually really do love it with horseradish. I wasn't thinking I should have gotten some horseradish today. But plain kraut is always great too. So again, we're just doing some light slithers. So it's got that nice. And with the sauerkraut, what can you do with it? Well, I eat it plain, but you could put it on a sandwich. You could put it on you could put it with anything. You can have it with your steak. I wouldn't recommend having it with super, super hot foods, like a soup. I mean, I suppose you could, but when you eat probiotic foods, you don't want to kill the probiotic in your stomach with really hot food. You know what I mean? So you guys can see these really nice long pieces. It looks so good. This is the last of it. It's messy too, just so you know. It's a little messy. All right, so here's our food scale. We're gonna put that on top. Zero it out, and it doesn't have to be exact. I'm just telling you these are kind of the parameters. So we're gonna put, we had 30 grams, so it wanted to be 43. So we'll just do that much. Perfect. And now we continue the massage. Okay guys, so as you can see here, look, I'm gonna show you, look. You see, when I squeeze, I mean, I don't wanna damage it, but you can see it's got like some nice brine coming off of it. And then if you look in there, look, pull up, you see that is just from the salt. That is our beautiful brine. So anyway, now this is done. We've massaged it. The brine is in there. Now I'm gonna let this rest for about 45 minutes to an hour. You don't have to let it rest. At this point, you could put it in your sterilized mason jars, but I like to let mine rest for a little bit, and then I'll come back and put it in our mason jar. I'm gonna cover this with a towel. Just cover that like that and let it rest. Friends, so it has been an hour and now it is time to put our kraut in our mason jars. I've got a half-gallon mason jar here. I've got a couple and we'll see. Let me show you the mixture right now. All right, so here is our kraut. All that, you see all that brine is at the bottom there. It's just kind of sat in there. So to get it all wet again, I'm just gonna go ahead and redistribute it so it's equal. And we give all of it a good amount of brine. Jars, and I'm just gonna kind of pull every little bit of kraut that I get. I'm just kind of pulling it from the bottom. And then I'm just gonna stuff my jar. It's really wet. I'm so excited. We haven't had kraut in like, what, 3 months? It's been a while. How do we do this? We're gonna use our fingers or use our knuckles, and you're just gonna kind of push it down because you gotta pack it in tight because you don't want mold. But anyway, what I was saying is, do you guys ever feel like you have a solid rotation? Like, we have a pretty good rotation, but then I'm also always trying to incorporate new things and come up with new things. So we're just pushing this down. You don't want any air bubbles. Push it, push it, push it. I think we're gonna have 2 half gallons, guys, which is gonna be nice. You don't want to have any space, because when you have space in the jar, that's how you can get mold. So you want it to be totally full. I think this will be okay. So look, this is a lot of brine. Look at this. Ooh, look at all that brine. Okay. Let's get a paper towel, and we're just gonna wipe the rim off so there's no mold producing spores. You don't want air. All right, so here are our krauts. Do you guys remember the leaves that we set to the side that are washed thoroughly? So now we're just gonna fold them up. Don't be perfect. And you're going to put the leaves inside to push the sauerkraut beneath the brine. So don't worry about it. It doesn't need to be perfect. You're just gonna take them and fold them up so you can put them. So let me show you. This one has a little bit of damage. It's just like a sunburn or something. Don't worry. If you feel weird about that, you can turn it this way. And we're just gonna stick these in here. Stick the leaves beneath the brine. All right, so we're just putting these in here. Put the leaves beneath the brine. I'm a singer now. You see that? That is perfection right there. So pretty. And then we're gonna take our fermenting weights. Oop, see? And we're pushing that. So, like I said, if your ferment starts to overflow, which mine most certainly is going to overflow, I already know, which I will check back in with you guys every day so you can see, because I know it's going to. Put this fermenting weight and you press it beneath the brine, and it's gonna start bubbling, and then probably tomorrow. So we're not screwing the lid on. You're just gonna gently put it on, gently put it on, let it breathe, don't screw it on, and leave it like that. Basically, all we do now is take it out of the sun. I'm gonna put it next to my other fermentations here. And you could also put this on top of a plate. I'm not going to right now because I already know it is gonna overflow. I already know, but whatever. So there's my ferments. This is my sourdough starter. I've got some fermented oats right there, which I need to restock up on. I have a beautiful, delicious sourdough bread. I cannot wait to show you guys. But anyway, here it is. And yeah, I'll check in with you over the next couple days so you can see what it does. All right, guys, so it is day 2. I'm sorry that I did not get the footage from yesterday, from day 1, and it's getting kind of dark. I don't know if you can tell, but there's just little bubbles that are coming up and the fermentation is taking place. You can see I did put a plate underneath here, and you can see it's getting bubbly. That is a good sign that the fermentation is happening. So just put this back on here. And you see, one of them was not even full of liquid, but you see it started to rise up. So, and there's some decent amount of liquid here in the plate. So the fermentation is doing very well on day 2 here. All right, today is day 3 of our sauerkraut. Those CO2 bubbles are rising to the top. We've got a nice rise. It's bubbling. It's doing its thing. And this one too. It was really cool, which I'm really disappointed. This morning when I came in, the liquid was down here. You guys saw last night it was pretty high. This morning it was down here, and then all of a sudden it started releasing more brine. So it is bubbling, looks really good and successful. And as you can see too, the color is starting to dull a little bit. I've also got some, in case you're curious and nosy, I've also got, it's hard to see, I'm backlit. I've also got some delicious fermented beans going. So we've started these today, and Today I'm also gonna start some fermented onions. So it's been a busy day of fermentation. Don't worry if the brine on your kraut disappears. This is basically called expansion and contraction. It basically happens when the temperature drops. The cabbage and the brine contract, making it look like the level went down. And then when the temperature rises, the brine comes back. So my temperature in my house drops a lot at night when we turn the heat off. And then when we turn the heat back on, it expands again. Day 9 of our fermentation. And I wanted to just show you, it is looking so good, and the brine is still very strong. This doesn't always happen. I don't always get this much brine on my kraut. So the brine is re-emerging again. You can see too, maybe while I have the camera on, you'll see some of those nice bubbles. The color is very dulled down, as it should be on kraut at this point. And do you see that? Brine is still doing its thing. There's this one. This one has even more. And I have not topped these off. These are just doing very, very, very good. Ooh, it smells like sauerkraut too. I love that smell. It smells so good. So today's day 9. All right, friends. So today is day 15 of our sauerkraut being done. Let me give you a close-up shot. So today is day 15 of our kraut being fermented on the counter here. And it's got that really nice dull color. We still have some brine here. And I'm going to be done with this fermentation. So let's do a little taste test. All right, so let's go ahead and take off the lid. I washed my hands and I've got this fermenting weight. We can take that out. And now we're gonna just take these leaves off. So we can just take these leaves off. And there is our kraut waiting for us. It looks so good. Nice and ready. It's got that really nice sour smell to it. Let's have a little taste. And this can stay in the fridge for a long time, for up to 6-7 months. I know some people harvest a lot of their kraut from their gardens for the year and they have it for 9 months. It's safe in the refrigerator as long as it doesn't have any weird odors or smells or anything. So let's give it a little taste test. It's still crunchy. It's got a nice crunch to it. And it tastes like sauerkraut. It's like sour and it's delicious. This will not last me and my husband for that amount of time, for 6 months. I definitely think that we will be eating a little bit every day. We do a lot of cultured foods with our meals, so I'm really excited to have this. I've missed this. That's really good. I don't want to double dip my fork in this because, again, this is a culture, so you don't want to reintroduce new mouth bacteria or anything inside of it. So now that it's done, I'm just going to pop this one into the refrigerator. So at the intro of my video, you guys saw this was the sauerkraut that I unveiled, and this one has a little bit more brine than this one that we just opened. And so if you want, you can always take a little bit of brine from one fermentation and add it to the other one just to give it a little bit of juices. You can also take brine from your other ferments to add to your other ferments too. So like right here, I have some fermented black beans, which this video is also here on the channel. I could put a little bit of that on my kraut. It would change the flavor profile just a little bit, but what I'm gonna do is just add a tiny bit of this brine to this one. And that is okay. I've got a clean fork here. And now these are ready to, this one has a ton of brine. Look at that. So much brine, which is great. So we'll just put a little bit more in this one, which is good. You don't have to do that. I was just doing it just because. Let me know how your sauerkraut adventures are going and if there's any cool fermentations that you're doing that I'm not doing. All right, friends, I'll see you next time.